Okay, so I've got my original Excelsior model loaded into Lightwave on the Amiga here, and this is actually a scene file that I created for my demo reel that got me hired into the Hollywood system back in the day. So this is one of the scene files that I created in Lightwave on my Amiga way back when that actually helped get me hired by the Hollywood studios, and then of course my career flourished from there, and now I'm a retired millionaire, and I'm surrounded by fairies and awesomeness. No, so here we go. And if any of you have watched my channel for any amount of time, or if any of you have scoured my YouTube channel for videos, you may recognize the camera move you are seeing in this video. In fact, I'll go ahead and make a preview. We'll go bounding box. Here we go. Now again, you got to visualize the bounding box. So this bounding box is the Excelsior. So there it goes. Whoosh, goes by us. There it is. So yeah, that is the Excelsior camera move from my demo reel that got me hired back in the day. So let's check it out. One of the first things I'm noticing, by the way, is the amount of distortion here. What lens am I using? My gosh, what lens am I? Okay, I'm using a 15 millimeter lens. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, no, don't ever shoot spaceships with a 15 millimeter lens. Oh, Q of old days, Q of 25 years ago. Why are you shooting things with a 15 millimeter lens? Well, that's why it looks like this. Oh my gosh, let's hit F9 and see what it looks like. All right, so we've got some cool, weird space gas stuff. Got my Excelsior, and then we've got this ball of white. What the hell is this ball of white? I'm going to guess this ball of white is probably stars. This is meant to be the stars that would be like surrounding us. So why is the stars this tiny little ball of white? Let's find out. Let's go to stars. Sure enough, there's the stars. Well, let's go ahead and size up the star. Well, let's not make that common mistake. Let's go to the view here. Top. There we go. So as you can see in the top view, this is the stars object that I have selected. This little weird little box is the Excelsior. So let's go ahead and size. Oh my gosh. I was going to say let's go ahead and size up the stars, but it instantly became huge. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It became huge. So we're going to go ahead and zoom out on the view. Oh no. Oh no. So this big box, this big kind of boxy sphere you're seeing, this is that gaseous space stuff you were seeing, kind of the Hubble telescope gaseous space stuff. So here's our stars. So we're going to make our stars around the same size as the Hubble's gaseous space stuff, okay? There we go. There we go. Right? Does that look good? Okay, there we go. So we'll go back to the camera view, and now we've got our Excelsior and its gaseous space stuff and its stars scaled up properly. And here we go. So there you go. So now you're seeing the Excelsior and the stars and the gaseous space stuff. But the stars look really ridiculous. They kind of look like it's like it's snowing in space. Well, why is it snowing in space? Well, let's go to the stars object. And one of the things we can see here, particle line size automatic. Lightwave tries to figure out how big to make single point polygons or stars. So we're going to tell it to make them small, okay? And we're going to tell it to dissolve at like, I don't know, 50%. After doing that, it's going to be less intense. Already you see how less intense these stars are. And we can keep going. If you just go here, I don't want to be too repetitive, but we go all the way up to like, let's make it like, I don't know, 96%, 97% dissolved. And F9, Well, now there's no stars. You can't see any stars. There's no stars. It's just gas. But you see what I'm talking about. You got to just balance this number. It's very delicate. Just so you start to see some stars, but not. There you go. See, now we're starting to see stars, but they're not oppressive. They're not, dominating. And again, this is an original file from like 25 years ago. Today, if I was making this, obviously I would do many, many things different, especially as I mentioned, the lens here at 15 millimeters. That is just ridiculous. Press F9 again, and oh, look at this. We kind of have a hero shot. So here's our hero shot. We've got some particle blur on the stars. The stars are kind of blurry. That's because the camera's moving. You know what? Let's go ahead and increase the resolution of this camera. We're going to go up to 640 by 480. Let's turn on some anti-aliasing. That particle blur we're going to leave on, and let's go ahead and press F9. And it's going to take a little longer, but we're going to see a much more clear image. This is the scene file, one of many scene files I used to get hired in Hollywood working on television shows that we all grew up on, at least the people in my age bracket grew up on, back in the day. And here it is on the Amiga rendering. Look at that. Isn't that great? That's so cool. This bottom is way too dark, but yeah, this is this passed for you're hired 25 plus years ago. Today you'd be, laughed out of the room, but that's that's the cool and cruel thing about time, right? Right? Okay. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get back to that. Now, I've been, mocking my original scene file here about why it looks stupid, even though it got me a job. But let's go ahead and change some things. Let's take the zoom factor and let's bump it up to like 75 millimeters. There we go. And now we don't see anything. So while we have the camera and move selected, oh, look at that dish. Let's back it up and move it out. There we go. There we go. I'm going to kind of compress it a little bit. I'm going to create a keyframe there. We're going to wait while Lightwave updates the screen using the amazing power of the Amiga. Come on, Lightwave, update it. There we go. So now we can see like we have a much more compressed big. Now, this looks a little low, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the camera. I'm going to move it up and rotate down a bit. A lot, actually. And I'm going to move up some more. About there. And again, I'm looking, see the bounding box? This box you see on the screen? I'm using this box as my reference. This is what you got to do. Because, the Amiga is a really awesome computer, but folks, it can't just show us stuff. You have to like visualize and you have to anticipate what it's going to do. So I'm anticipating what it's going to do. Create a keyframe there. Let's wait a second. Let's see what the wireframe is going to look like. Hopefully it'll look awesome. Worthy of an F9, a render button. Well, we're off to the left, but we'll move it over. There we go. How's that look? And here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so let's go press F9 and see what this looks like. That's looking better. Now see how already by increasing the lens to a more, like a longer lens, it's starting to look a little more cinematic, I dare say. Yes, that, you don't shoot starships with a 15 millimeter lens. That's Q. I don't know what you were doing 25 plus years ago. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. This, here you go. There you go. This is Q's Excelsior that he modeled and textured 25 plus years ago. It looks great back then. You're hired. You got a job. Welcome to Hollywood. There you go. So I hope this helps you understand the process of Lightwave and, doing what it takes to make things fun. It's all silly. I know. I know this is crazy, but I just wanted to do this quick, short little video on what I was doing with this Excelsior, because it shows up in a previous video I posted about how I got my first job in Hollywood, and that's why I've done this. So here we go. All right, that's the Excelsior in Lightwave, in Amiga, and how you can make it look better, even though this is not a model you could use because it's mine. But, you know, I'm just saying, you can create stuff on your own on the Amiga, and it looks awesome for the Amiga. Okay, thanks for watching. Oh, geez. Bye-bye.